What's up, beautiful people? How you guys doing? We are back again with another video. So a couple weeks ago, I was working on a project, something that I've been so excited about, and I was just, shooting this project. I loved everything about it. I was working on it. Whilst we were shooting it, I just came to the realization of something that was really an eye-opener. When I came up with my short list and I came up with everything for this project, I was, shooting it and everything, and someone that I was working with on this project kind of was like, oh, why don't you put the camera here, or why don't you do it this way, or why don't you do it that way? What do you think about this? And it made me really realize how basic my cinematography is, right? And this is not like to kind of like be hard on myself or anything. No, I actually did enjoy the experience, and I did enjoy the eye-opening and stuff. Because the reason I say this in the sense, I think now that I've been working for some time and been shooting stuff and other things, when this person introduced me to like, oh, why don't you put a camera here, or why don't you shoot it this way, or why don't you do it that way? I was like, my brain never thought of it. My brain didn't even go there. I was like, oh, why didn't I even consider? Why didn't I do that? And then I was like, whoa. I was just gonna do some very basic stuff. It made me really realize how basic my short lists are. Like, honestly speaking, it just made me realize that I have really not been, what do you call it? It made me really realize how much I don't really take risks when it comes to my short and my cinematography style. Like, I shoot very, well, in this video, I'm probably going to use the word basic because that is the only thing that is coming in my head right now. I shoot very basic stuff where the camera is just in front of you, the camera is there, or the camera is this, or the camera is that. But I realized that I don't take risks with my shots. Like, I don't try different angles. I don't try different, most times, like maybe I'm shooting eye level, I'm shooting very high or very low. When I did that, I kind of like remember taking a very huge, big breath and sitting there, and I was like, damn, Kwame, like, the way that you work is very basic. You don't take risk in your shots. You don't take, what do you call it? You are not always trying new stuff, and then your shot lists are very kind of like basic, right? And having this eye-opening and then realizing how basic now my work is, it also kind of like gingered me. That's kind of like giving me this new sense of like, whoa, okay, I need to really take risk. I need to really push. I need to learn how to not be worried so much about whether it is technically right or technically wrong. I think for me, one of my biggest issue is the fact that most times I'm really concerned about whether it is technically right. I'm always trying to, one of the big things is I'm always like, oh, I don't want to break the 180-degree rule. I don't want to break it. That is like one of the things that I always like, I'm always so concerned about trying to be technically right on everything. Oh, I want to shoot on the shadow side. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do this. It's like, I think I've studied so much on the technical stuff on cinematography that I've not really allowed myself to also just kind of like sometimes just take risk, right? Take risks. I know, yes, there are rules, there are guidelines in shooting, there are rules on certain things that maybe how you can probably even light someone and all that. All those things are there. These rules are there. These things are there to really help us. But when you are so engulfed in trying to make sure that everything follows the rules, everything is done right, it kind of also restricts you in your approach, because like cinematography, the whole film thing is art that we are doing, and in art, there needs to be flexibility in it. Sometimes something could be technically wrong, but it can also make sense, right? Sometimes it's okay to break the 180-degree rule, right? It's okay to do that, and then that doesn't mean the film is bad, or maybe you shot something wrong or anything. It's just that maybe at that instant, that is what you needed to do. I think especially for me with the 180-degree rule, I've held on so tight to it. When I'm shooting that, I'm always trying to not break it. That I think sometimes I even realize that I don't even shoot the full 180. I shoot even 90. Like, I'm shooting just only 90, and I should probably go like the full 180 and then shoot around. Because I think even when I was shooting my Nike film, I realized how much I put myself in a box on how to properly place the cameras, that even when I was trying to edit it, before I brought in an editor, when I was trying to edit it, I realized how much that there were so many instances where I could break the 180-degree rule. But in my mind, I have kind of like put myself in a box on how it should be shot, because it needs to be technically right. Right? I've been so focused on trying to make things technically right that I think it is also making me really be very restrictive on my approach to my filmmaking. And then it's also making my work become very basic, right? It is making my shots become very basic. I take really basic shots. I don't take risks. I'm always kind of like so concerned. Am I shooting the shadow side? Am I doing this? Like I've engulfed in my brain all the technical things that I need to know as a cinematographer, that I'm also forgetting that it is also art that we are creating, and then that there needs to be some kind of like flexibility, right? The rules are there, but rules are also there to be broken. And when you become so restrictive on your approach to art, it's you don't create the best work. And then this experience just kind of like really opened my eyes to it. I was like, oh, like I do very basic stuff. I am very restrictive in my approach. I don't take risk. I am always so engulfed in trying to make sure that I am doing the things that the technical way, the right way to go about it. That it's also making me not really put out really good work. I'm not saying my work is terrible, but I'm beginning to see that because I've become so restrictive, and then because I'm so afraid to take risks or even break rules or try certain things, it is making me see like the difference between what do you call it, an amateur and a pro, right? Because this person opened my eyes. I'm like, oh, he's a pro. He takes risks. He knows this. And I'm like, oh, I shoot very amateur. I think maybe basic now, if I found the right way to not use basic, maybe I shoot very amateurish, because I'm so concerned about like the rules, the technical jargons, the technical ways to do everything. And then this whole experience was just one thing that I was like, oh, like, no, this is not how you go about it. This is not how you do about it. So what do I plan to do about it for the future? I think right now I want to be very, on my next project per se, I want to be very relaxed. I want to really have fun with it. It's okay to make mistakes, right? It's better to make mistakes than to be very restrictive, because I think that is what I've been doing all this while. I've become very restrictive in my filmmaking approach. And also I need to understand that rules are also meant to be broken, especially when it comes to shooting, right? Rules are there to guide you, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to follow everything to the T. And that has been my big issue, like following everything to the T. So just, have a very relaxed approach to filming. And then even when I'm making my short list, try out new things, right? Be very open to new ideas, and also like break the rules, right? Be a rule breaker, like break the rules. Forget trying so hard to be technically right and stuff. So it's like, this is what I've really learned. I have some projects coming out that I'm gonna see if maybe I could try this whole stuff, because now I want to really, really take risks with my approach to filmmaking, or else I feel like I am going to really mess up I'm not going to allow myself to be a pro, right? So I'm not being, right now I'm seeing it in the point of like, because I've become so restrictive, it has also made my shortlist very restrictive and then very boring and very basic. And then now my next approach is just to be less restrictive, have fun, take risks, try out new things, try out new angles. It's not every day that you're just gonna shoot high level or just low level or high. It's like, try new things, try a Dutch tilt, try this, try different stuff when it's needed. But at the same time, when you are shooting, just be more flexible with things. Like, especially for me, and then the 180-degree rule, like I saw how much it restricted me a lot when I was shooting my Nike film. So I want to try new stuff and see how it goes. So my name is Kwame, and this is my little rant on this whole situation, that this whole lesson that I learned, where I need to learn how to be more relaxed. I need to just break the rules with my shooting style. I need to like take risks and not be too much restrictive in my approach to filmmaking. So guys, thank you for tuning in. I'm gonna see you guys in the next video.